Hi everyone. Okay, so now that we've had a look at fuzzy, sketch, and shadow lettering, we are now going to be looking at bubble, double, 3D, and block lettering. Okay, so we'll get started. Hi everyone. Okay, so this is part 2 from the previous lettering. I'm using the same supplies that I used for the last one, but I'll get them out again just to show you. If you have some notebook paper in your house, this is really easy to use because it already has the lines on it for you that you can write your letters on top of to practice. And I'm going to be using, to make my lines, I'm going to be using a pencil and a ruler. And of course, later I'll want to erase my lines with an eraser. I just grabbed some various markers and pens that I had here, some highlighters, a Sharpie, some fine liners, even crayons work good, some jelly pens, gel pens, or just ballpoint pens, a fat marker if you have one. If you don't, even a piece of chalk, a dark piece of chalk would work. Highlighters work really great for practicing lettering. Okay, so what we're going to be doing in this little section is we're going to be doing 4 different styles. One that is let's see, bubble lettering, which you guys all probably have done bubble lettering before, double lettering, block lettering, and 3D lettering. Okay, so I'm going to be starting with bubble lettering. I'm going to use a sort of a dark pen. I'm going to use a Sharpie just to show you. So you guys have probably all done bubble lettering before, but one thing that's really fun to do with bubble lettering, besides coloring in each letter, maybe designing each letter with dots or stripes or zigzags or whatever, you can also do shadows next to it. So I'm going to just write the word bubble. And bubble lettering is supposed to look kind of round and bubbly. So the L and the E. Okay, so there we've got the word bubble. And what I like to do with this type of lettering is I like to put shadows on the other side of on one side of the letter. So when you do shadows on any kind of lettering, you've got to stick to the same side of the letter. So it either has to be all on the left side of the letter or all on the right side of the letter. So in this case, I'm going to do it all to the left of the letter. So you just want to come over and just do the left and then the bottom. So it would just be like this. And you want to follow the line of whatever you were doing. So like there's that line, and you do the bottoms. And what I mean is, so the bottom of this U is round and the bottom of the B is round, so that means the shadow needs to be round too. Okay. So that's one thing you can do. And then, coloring in and designing the inside of letters is really what gets so addictive. You can just do this forever. You could work on one letter and you could do all the dots on the top or all on the bottom or all over like I'm doing. You could do every other letter. You could do stripes. You could do little hearts. You could leave it alone. You could do like coloring at the bottom and leave the top uncolored. There's all kinds of fun things you could do with bubble lettering. Okay, the next one is double lettering. Okay, so what I want you to do is get two pens or 2 pencils and rubber band them together. So find a rubber band or tape. If you can't find a rubber band, find a piece of tape and attach the 2 pins together to make one pin. Take the lids off of them, and then when you put your two pins down, you just put them down together. You can put them so that they're horizontal like this or vertical. My two pins are going to be vertical, which means they're going up and down. And I'm going to, I'll write the word double since this is two double pins. So I'm going to do a D, O, U, B, L, E. And then you can go back with these. See how on like the U where it came down, how that's open right there? You can make a little line, like a 45-degree angle, a diagonal line to connect it so that it doesn't look like it's so open, if you know what I mean. And so there's one type of double lettering right there. You can also do it italicized, where you put your letters kind of together, sort of like it looks like cursive. Like that. And then what's fun to do with this is to shadow these, color them on the inside. I'm gonna just do, I'll do this bottom one. So if I colored the inside with this yellow marker, this is another, just a fun thing to do. You could do it with colored pencils, crayons. You could take two pieces of chalk out on the sidewalk and do this together. You could tape two pieces of chalk together and, you know, say welcome home or say hi to your neighbors. And then I'll do this red down here. And then the shadow can go down at the bottom. It could be a, in this case, it's going to be a red shadow. Could also do this with pencil. See, it just kind of looks crazy. Okay, so that's one right there. That's one type of lettering. This is called double lettering. A lot of fun things you can do with this. The next thing we're going to do is block lettering. And I'm going to use a Sharpie for this just to show you so that it's nice and dark. And I'm gonna write out the word write. Okay, and I'm going to do this rather fast. Block lettering you probably need to work on, just your lettering style. I've been doing lettering for a long time. I consider myself a lettering artist, so I can do these rather fast, and you probably can too, I don't know. But if you can't, it's really fun to practice your letter forms this way. So there's block lettering. Now, just like everything else that I've done here, you can also shadow these, and I'll shadow these with yellow. And I'll do it with this big fat yellow marker. And I'm doing them on the left and on the bottom of all of this. Okay? So that kind of highlights it, and like just like the bubble, you can design the inside of these. You could do stripes. You know, you could do a red, white, and blue. You could make it into like an American flag. You could do USA. You could do the name of your dog or your cat or your sister, your brother, or the street you live on. Okay, now the last one that I want to show you guys, I'm going to do on this piece of paper without any lines, and it's called 3D lettering. And you guys have all done 3D images before, I'm sure, where you do a box and you give the box a 3D look by adding diagonal lines. You can do the same thing with letters. So I'm going to do the letter A just to show you. So I'm going to do a capital A, just like the block lettering that we just did. Here's the letter A. Okay. Now, just like you make the boxes, you add diagonal lines to every point of this letter. And you follow the lines of the A to connect. So you're going to follow that down, and then you're following that, And this line right here is that. And you have to follow this, so there's that and that, okay? So we can do that. I'll do that one more time. Here's a big A. This makes a big impact when you do this because it can be so striking. Okay, so you do a diagonal. You do all your diagonals going the same direction and the same length. And then you follow your letter form. So this has that line, so this is going to have that. And that stem of that A goes across. This line goes like that, follows it, that is there. This bottom of that letter is there. Okay, you can also do it with, instead of doing a block letter, you could do a round letter, like a round letter A. Like that. And then this can have the same thing. It can be a three-dimensional look. You do the same thing. Do a diagonal line. You can kind of curve it. And then you follow that line. So that goes to there. That is straight across. That is straight across. You want to follow this, so it's going to go in. Since that has a curve out like that, this one has to have a curve out. And then you can color these. So this one, this would have a three-dimensional thing in it too. So I'm doing this very fast, but I just want to try to get the point across to you guys, okay? So there is a three-dimensional letter form right there. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll talk to you later.